Hey everyone, a quick video here today to showcase some of the improvements we've made to Manifold Garden recently. I'm going to be doing some before and after comparisons. Keep in mind that even some of the after versions are still a work in progress. The process of development is one of many iterations. Sometimes it's not necessarily about getting something to be perfect, just better than what it was before. These toggle buttons are all over the place in the game. They used to communicate their direction and gravity with the texture. However, since we updated the look of the cubes to have the pattern in the mesh itself, this design felt out of place. We finally got around to replacing them. Here's the new one. The pattern is now part of the geometry as opposed to the texture. This makes it much more interesting. It also fits with the art style better because the edge detection now picks out the shape. You can also see that there's a bit of emission level on the material even in the inactive state. This makes it easier for players to spot the buttons. These things are called laser controllers. I won't go into detail on exactly what they do here. The problem with the old cell is that the active state wasn't obviously different from the inactive state, especially from afar. The new version exaggerates everything. It's taller and it uses lighting more liberally. Portals recently went through a really significant update. The whole system has gone through many revisions. The last one was actually pretty smooth, but if you look closely, you can see a slight bump forward when you pass through the portal. I was actually so used to it that I had stopped noticing it. The new portals, however, are completely smooth. It's a small improvement, but it really helps with the immersion overall. This is a receptacle for the sphere. Again, I won't explain the exact function, but previously we just had a placeholder animation and it was just there to give the player some sort of feedback to let them know that they're done. We've gone ahead and replaced it with something that looks a bit less placeholder-ish. I don't know if it's the final design yet, but it's a step in the right direction. We finally made some changes to the reticle. The reticle has two parts, the circle in the center and the rings. The center circle shows the gravity of the surface that the player's feet are pointing at. This is a bit confusing at first because it's not what the reticle is pointing at. The rings show whether the player can interact with an object or not. One ring means the object is close enough, but it's not interactable. Either the player's in the wrong gravity or something needs to be done to turn it on. Two rings means that the object is within distance and interactable. And when the ring turns solid, that means the player is actually holding onto it. This design hasn't been changed since 2013, so we finally got around to adding a bit of polish, mostly with some animation here and there. Anyway, these are just a small sample of the improvements we've been making across the game. On their own, each change is fairly minor in scope, but taken together they do make a big impact on the overall experience. We're going to be making more videos like this showing what's going on in development. If you like this stuff, make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments section.